Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Good, good. My name is Reverend C.C. Coltrane, and I just want to say welcome to you. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Greater Dayton. If it is your first time with us today, thank you for spending your morning with us, and that's an extra special welcome to you. Our reading this morning will be given, our reading and invocation will be given by Judy Nussmacher, and Lana Mayhew is our vigil holder. Judy Nussmacher and Lenza Smith will do our interfaith candle lighting. And the interfaith candle lighting is to remind us that there is wisdom in every spiritual and religious tradition, and that we can draw on and learn from all of them. We have, let's see, Stephanie. Who is with the kids today? Is it Stephanie? Oh, it's Teresa. Teresa. John. Teresa's with the kids, and John is with the older kids, the teens and tweens. So while the kids make their way to their teacher, we will simply say a quick little blessing for them. Because this is our future. These are beautiful, beautiful beings who haven't quite maybe learned all the bad habits we adults have. There it went. I knew I was going to have to do that. Can I have the podium mic for a second? I ran and got extra batteries during the song, but I didn't put them in.
Where did you do that for you?
Yeah, would you?
I'll get them, Kenny.
Thank you.
Keep your hip up there.
I got batteries.
You got them?
Yeah. I just didn't install them. They don't do any good when they're sitting in your hands. So anyway, here are these beautiful, beautiful beings of light over here. So let's just stop for a moment and remember that each one of them is the manifestation of the One in beautiful, unique form. Each one has a precious gift to give to our world that only they can give. And so we bless them. We bless everything that happens for them today and everything that they bring to our community with great gratitude. We know that they have fun, that they learn, that they grow, and that they shine their lights. And we let that be, knowing it's already so. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you, kids. Have a great day.
Love you. Have fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. Woo. So, now that my mic's been fixed, I'm going to turn it back over to the guys in the band, the boys in the band.
Thank you.
And they're going to do an amazing song that I absolutely love, which is called God is So Good All the Time.
All the time.
Ready? The first candle honors Hinduism. Namaste. It simply means honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. That place of love and light and of truth and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. The second candle honors Christianity. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always preserves. The third candle honors Judaism. Blessed are the man and the woman who have grown beyond themselves and have seen through their separations. They delight in the way things are and keep their hearts open day and night. They are like trees planted near flowing rivers, which bear fruit when they are ready. Their leaves will not fall or wither. Everything they do will succeed. The fourth candle honors Buddhism. Let us vow to bear witness to the wholeness of life, realizing the completeness of each and everything. Embracing our differences, I shall know myself as you, and you as myself. May we serve each other for all of our days, here, there, and everywhere. The fifth candle honors Islam. There are people who love each other with the spirit of Allah, not because of family relations or wealth. By Allah, there will be light on their faces, and there will be light upon light. The sixth candle honors Taoism. Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. The final candle honors Native American religions. Teach me how to trust my heart, my mind, my intuition, my inner knowing, the senses of my body, the blessings of my spirit. Teach me to trust these things so that I may enter my sacred space and love beyond my fear, and thus walk in the balance with each passing of each glorious sun. Reading today is from Ernest Holmes. Man will deliver himself from sickness and trouble in exact proportion to his discovery of himself and his true relationship to the whole. Let us take these words of wisdom deep within the silence and ponder them. God is surrounding this beautiful community with love, light, and peace, and everything that is. In the glorious day of this beauty of light and love, the changing of the leaves, the beautiful flowers in bloom, and the smiles on everyone that is enjoying this beautiful day. And I know that everyone that is here has come because of that love, because of that joy, because of increasing the love in their hearts. And I'm grateful to know that. I know that this service is in divine order. I know that everyone that is involved within this service is filled with love and light and joy and peace. I know that Reverend Cece brings us a spirit of wisdom from her that she receives, and I'm grateful for that. And I know that all that are here because of love. And so I say thank you for all knowing, and so I say thank you, and so it is.
New batteries are a wonderful thing. Let there be power, right? It is a beautiful day, and I think some of us are out enjoying it instead of being here. Well, you know, it might be the last such gorgeous day this year. It's supposed to cool down and get more like fall. I don't know about your trees, but mine are confused. I got someone posted a picture yesterday, someone who lives in Centerville, of their horse chestnut blooming.
Wow.
Things are confused, and we're probably confused too. We may not know it, but we're probably confused by this crazy weather too. You know, October, we're talking about love as the thing that creates safety for us. One of our shared values is safety, and the greatest safety we can ever find is finding the love that's within us. And I want to begin with a quote from a novel. It's a novel called Death Comes for the Archbishop by Willa Cather. And she writes, "Where there is great love, there are always miracles," the bishop said at length. One might almost say that an apparition, a vision, is human vision corrected by divine love. The miracles of the church seem to me to rest not so much upon faces or voices of healing power coming suddenly from far off, but upon our perceptions being made finer, so that for a moment our eyes can see and our ears can hear what is there about us always. It's a change in perception. I love that. I love that passage because I think it's really true. You know, miracles are what happens when our human vision and our human hearing are corrected by love. And it's not love out there, it's the love that's inside us that corrects our vision and tunes our hearing to a different pitch. A Course in Miracles tells us that the greatest miracle one can ever achieve is awareness of love's presence. I love that, because what we call miracles, these life-changing events, these moments of total transformation, occur naturally as the result of love. That's what brings them about. The exchange of love reverses what's happening in the physical world. It reverses it and affects both the giver and the receiver and anybody who might be in the vicinity. Because love is one of those things that it doesn't just happen between the two people involved. It kind of leaks out all over everybody who's around, which is a wonderful thing. And the effect of this miracle is a higher state of being, a higher state of consciousness, both for those who give and who receive. And when you stop to think about it, the miracles wrought by love might be the only human interaction that really lasts through time, that really survives, because it reaches into us. That love reaches into us, down to our souls, and changes us. And yes, it also changes the laws of the physical world. See, this kind of love I'm talking about, however, is not the kind of love we're trained up to think about, that by society and by our parents and by certainly pop music and movies and things like that. That kind of love, a couple of weeks ago I quoted someone as saying, that's not love, that's business. It's business. And you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if maybe you had a great childhood. I really hope everybody here did. But in my home, I did business with my parents. I traded good behavior, or what I hoped would be seen as good behavior, for love. If I acted the right way, I was given love. It was a swap. It was a trade. It wasn't unconditional, and I was driven by a fear that there would be no love. And they were driven by what they were enculturated to do. And from the time I was a little child, I was taught to change myself in hopes of getting love. It's another trade, right? It's more business. And then I came of age in the 70s and late 70s, and everybody then traded sex for the hope of love. That was the currency, right? I got married more than once because I was raised to believe that marriage would mean I'd get love. And I drove a pretty hard bargain in those days, you know. I wasn't an easy person to be married to. And of course, it was never my fault, right? Yeah. But none of those business transactions, none of those swaps or trades ever brought the kind of love I was looking for. Because the kind of love I was looking for was the miraculous love, the kind that made my perceptions finer, so that for a moment my eyes could see and my ears could hear what was there about me always. Always. That's a different kind of love entirely. And I think I first experienced it because two people showed it to me. One was my sister, who has always loved me just as I am. From the time I was a wretched little girl until now, and whom I love just as she is. You know, I credit being alive, my being alive, to her, because she loved me enough to ask me to go to an AA meeting. She said, if you can't do it for me, for you, do it for me. So I did, because I loved her. I went to my first meetings for her, and eventually I got to the point where I was there for me. And that means I'm still here today. And that means I'm happy and joyous and free and able to have some say over what I think and feel and how I act. So I credit that to her miracle of love for me. And then a couple of years later, see, I just got sober at first. I didn't change. And I had no idea how to love anyone. I had no idea how to receive love. I was like, I had those bracelets on, you know, and I could fend off the bolts of love pretty well. But there was a woman in one of the meetings who decided she wanted to be my friend, and she would not take no for an answer. And I kept trying to come up with reasons why she shouldn't be my friend. Like, well, you know, I don't have time to make you dinner. She said, you don't have to make me dinner. I just want to hang out with you. Or I don't have, you know, my house isn't clean. She says, I don't care about your house. I just want to spend some time with you. I want to be your friend. And she just she wouldn't give up. And she came to be my friend. And then she just hung around without condition until I started to love her back. And that love was so healing for me. It really taught me how powerful a force unconditional regard and love is. These experiences were miraculous for me. They were life-changing. They were transformational. And they helped me to uncover something I didn't even know was there. And that is that there is within me, as there is within every one of you, a source of love. A source of love. It's the most powerful love in the universe. And it's one that would grow and grow and grow in me and empower me to do all sorts of things I didn't think I could do. And then enable me to be all sorts of things I didn't know I could be. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said that love is at the center of our being. And the calm, continuous pulsations of life are all governed by love. All life is bound together by one common law of love. And love is the self-givingness of spirit. The essence of love, he said, while elusive, pervades everything. It fires the heart, it stimulates the emotions, it renews the soul, and it proclaims the spirit. Words cannot express its depth or its meaning. A universal sense alone bears witness to this divine fact, that God is love and love is God. See, that's not the kind of love we get. It's the kind of love we are. We are. When we allow ourselves. It's already there. We don't have to earn it. We don't have to change a thing about ourselves to have it, because it's who we are. We're here to uncover it. We're here to uncover it. Living a spiritual life is all about uncovering. It's about honing our perception so that we have the eyes that can see and the ears that can hear the presence of love that's always about us and in us and around us, always. And we experience a miraculous moment when we're able to make the shift out of fear and into love, from despair to hope, from anger to forgiveness, from pain to peace. Those are miraculous moments, and all those things spring from who we already are. Beneath the baggage. You know, we've laid so much on top of this that we really are. Scars and mistaken thinking, and I'm not enough, and they won't like me, and nobody understands me, and all that other baggage that we lay on top of who we really are. And so we're here to make a shift from that, carrying that baggage around and feeling that that baggage is real, to love, from despair to hope, from anger to forgiveness, and from pain to peace. We're here to make that shift. And the only way I know of to do it is to use this power that we've been given, we were born with, and as far as we know, we're the only creatures on the planet to have it to the extent that we have it. And that is, we have to choose love. We have to choose it. Stop and think about the people you really look up to. Who are your heroes in life? Who are your spiritual heroes? You know, maybe it's Gandhi or Dorothy Day or Desmond Tutu or the Dalai Lama or Malala, I never know how to say her last name. Yousafzai, Yousafzai, Malala, you know Malala. Whoever comes to your mind, think about the qualities that make them a hero. Think about what makes that person have such a high esteem in your eyes. Who are they? Just shout them out. Shout one out for me. Black elk. What is the reason?
Because of the way he talks about prayer. He says that every step you take is a prayer.
Who else? Black elk, because every step you take is a prayer. Who else? I heard some other names. Gandhi. And what? And for what? Be the change you wish to see in the world. Who else? Oh! Thank you. Why?
For the beautiful courage and the beauty of being human and expressing in a body and being willing to share.
Oh,
Amen.
thank you. Thank you. Wow, I'm moved and honored. Anybody else got a hero they want to proclaim?
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou. And what's the basis there?
I guess the way she was raised and what she created herself, and she knew who she was.
She knew who she was. Yeah, yeah. One of my heroes is Desmond Tutu, because he is the most loving man I have ever heard speak, and I love to watch he and the Dalai Lama together because they giggle like schoolboys. They're so funny. They're so full of joy and light and laughter. And do you see the common thread that runs through all of these? I mean, these people knew that their core of being was love. They know it, you know. Love is the thing that gave Gandhi the courage to say, be the change you want to be in the world, and that change is love. You know, he taught this whole movement of peaceful resistance, nonviolent protest, and he told his people over and over and over again, you must come from love. If you find yourself being angry, step aside, because that's not what we're here to do. The salt march. You know, he said, you may be beaten, you may be kicked off the road, but never stop loving those people. That's the only way we're going to change anything. And Maya Angelou, every word she spoke was infused with this great, powerful love. I don't know whether you were ever in her presence. I was one time late in her life, and I could feel it coming off the stage in waves, which I also felt with 10,000 other people being with the Dalai Lama. You know, the man is just love. He radiates it all the time. And the things that Dorothy Day did, and Malala, you know, she got shot in the face. And she said, I'm being called to be a being of love in this world. After she got shot in the face, wow. Just because she was a girl going to school. I mean, these people are amazing. But I have something to tell you. The reason you chose that person as your hero is because you already possess the same amazing qualities they have and that you see. They may not be expressed to the same degree as they are in your hero, but you can't see it if you don't already know it. We see these people, and our souls call us in that direction. And that's why they're our heroes. So you've already got it. The love that these people display towards the world is already alive in you. It's who you are. It is the very core of your being. It could not be otherwise. Because in the beginning there was only... Yes, there was only God and the void, right? There was only God, and God is love, and God has created all of us by whatever name you, however you think of God. That power created all of us out of itself. And so we are all at our deepest core that same love. And so what we're here to do is peel off and discard the stuff that lies on top of it. The stuff that lies on top of it. And there are some universal practices, I think, that can help us do that. They're mindsets, really, more than anything. At least they've helped me a lot to allow the love that I have, and I've always had, just didn't know how to express it, right? Just didn't know what to do with it. And the first one is kindness, because kindness is the outward expression of love, especially when it's given freely and without expectation. You know, when you do a kind act, I don't know whether you've ever seen this or experienced it yourself, but even a simple thing like holding the door for somebody who's carrying a lot of groceries, they're kind of shocked because it's unexpected, you know? And it kind of ripples out, and other people see it, and maybe one of them will hold a door for somebody, or paying for the coffee of the guy behind you in the Starbucks line. I was listening to something the other day, and somebody did that. It started a chain that went on for an hour and 45 minutes. Everybody was paying for the guy behind them. And then it started to build up, and so a couple people got paid for. And then so the last guy handed the waitress a $20 bill and said, just keep paying until it's gone, right? It multiplies. because it's a force for love in the world. And it changes not just the giver and not just the receiver, it changes everybody. Your act of kindness is a miracle for you because it turns you to love. And it's a miracle for the receiver because they get the gift of love. And it's a miracle for the people watching because their consciousness is elevated towards love. The other one is gratitude, because gratitude turns even the most mundane little experience into a sacred moment, a miraculous moment. Even taking a breath. You know, if you've ever been with someone who's breathed their last breath, you sort of realize that even taking a breath can't be taken for granted. It is an amazing and miraculous thing. And it happens through this force of love called life. It just happens automatically. We don't have to stop and think, oh, time to breathe again. Getting a little dizzy here. It just happens. And our hearts beat. And our neurons fire. And everything happens in our body automatically and beautifully and perfectly. Amazing. Something to take into account and be grateful for. Gratitude also helps us experience fully the giving and the receiving of love that's going on around us and from us all the time. Because the most profound miracle fades away unless you're grateful for it, right? When we stop and allow ourselves to be moved to gratitude by every miraculous thing that happens to us, we spend our lives in a state of gratitude. And gratitude is the thing that opens us up for more love. More love, more good, more wonderful things. And finally, forgiveness. Robert Mueller said, to forgive is the highest and most beautiful form of love. In return, you will receive untold peace and happiness. And many of us have difficulty with forgiveness because somehow we've equated it with justice. We think that justice is our job and that holding a resentment against someone is somehow meting out justice. But I have to tell you that the other person doesn't even know you're doing it. You know? It eats us alive and does nothing to further justice in the world. There was a guy named Sandy McGregor, and he's Australian, and he lost his 3 teenage daughters and one of their friends who were shot to death in their home when he wasn't there. And that's a pretty amazing and life-transforming disaster. Many people could never even come back from that. But he found a way to forgive them, and he wrote a book about it. It's called Peace of Mind. And he said in that book, you know, I don't condone what happened. Forgiveness is not about condoning anyone's actions. Forgiveness is for yourself. It is, he says, what the perpetrator does with your forgiveness is up to them. Whatever they do is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to forgive for yourself. The miracle that comes out of forgiveness is that you restart the flow of love. You restart the flow of love. You take that thing that was lying so heavily on you and preventing you from receiving love and preventing you from giving love, and you discard it. Finally, express it. Choose to express the love that you feel. You know, when you see how amazing somebody is, tell them. When you feel that universal connection with somebody, say something to them. We sometimes don't do it because we worry that people might take it wrong. You know, oh my God, what if they think I'm coming on to them? Or what if they think I want something from them? I let that stop me for many years from saying, you know, I really think you look great today, or I really admire what you do, or simply, I love you. I let it stop me because I was afraid of what the other person might think. That means I've restricted that total flow from moving out from me and from me receiving it. I've decided that the best thing I can do is just say it. Just say it. It's more important to increase the amount of love in the world than it is to leave it unspoken. I want to close with the lyrics from a little song by Beth Nielsen Chapman, and it's called Choose Love. Just a couple of the verses. She says, and she's talking about this love that is our place of safety within, when we let it be, when we let it flow, and when we let Let ourselves receive and give love. She says, years cannot age you. Fear cannot scare you. Pain cannot hurt you. Death cannot kill you. Choose love. Money will spend you. Beauty will tempt you. They will fool you. Power will rule you. Choose love. When you're down in your direction and you feel like giving up, choose love. Because choosing love invites miracles of love to come into your life. So choose love. The mic is yours. Y'all are very quiet today. Okay.
I just want to talk a little bit today about gratitude. I've just had a really bizarre week. I don't know, a lot of you follow me on Facebook, and that's cool. And I've had an experience of a bit of change of direction in my career recently. So I applied for a job at this mortgage company in Alabama. Things are going along well. I thought I was going to start last Wednesday. Oh, hey, what's up? I thought I was going to start last Wednesday. And 2 days before I was going to start, I get a call out of the blue from someone who was a former employee of that company. She said, I don't think you should work there. Things are really bad at this place. I quit, and I don't have anything to gain out of this, but watch what's going on. And sure enough, she said, did you get an employment letter yet? And I said, no. Should I? I was like, yeah, you're starting in 3 days. You should have one. So I called them up, didn't have a letter. 2 days before, still didn't have a letter. Day before, they finally sent me a letter, and it was junk. It was 4 lines, and the numbers didn't even match what we discussed on the phone. Like, no detail of 401k or like anything. And I'm thinking, okay, this is not good. So the wife comes home from work, and we're sitting there thinking, okay, what do I do? And she says, honey, do you think you have options? I said, yeah, I have plenty of options. She said, okay, I think it's time to look at those options. And so I did. I went and made some calls, and by the end of the day, I had 4 interviews set. That was Tuesday. Wednesday, I went on 2 interviews, went pretty good. Thursday, I went on this amazing interview and actually got an offer higher than the one I just turned down. And I'm like, whoa, this is cool. And it's just crazy. I just feel so grateful right now that things are moving along. I mean, we've been through this financial hell for the past 12 plus years, and now it's like, wow. Because, I mean, these opportunities some of these people make is crazy, crazy money. I'm just grateful to be able to hopefully make that money, hopefully I'll give back to you. So that's my story.
That's a lot to be grateful for. A lot to be grateful for. Anybody else? Yes, beautiful lady.
So this is to go with your theme of choosing love, and I've been wanting to kind of speak about this on like last week, because I think it went more that thing. But anyway, in high school and middle school, I was mercilessly teased. I was teased a lot, and there was one particular boy who was just particularly like evil, and I just remember wanting really bad things to happen to him, because I just saw torture. And it's, and it's already hard to feel confident at that age, because you're like, I don't really know who I am, and trying to, get by. So anyway, recently, I was just at a park, a picnic, and I ran into an old teacher, and they're like, well, like, some of your classmates passed away. And I was like, who? And it was this boy who had teased me horribly, and I felt like all these mixed feelings, and I felt horribly guilty for wishing anything bad would happen to him. And it turns out, the whole time he was teasing me, he had a lot of his own demons that he was processing, and he was abused by his partner, and I realize now that I think he was teased and ridiculed a lot because of his sexuality, and I didn't make that connection at my age. I just thought, he's just picking on me and whatever. So anyway, So now and something recently happened to me where someone was kind of, picking at me, and I thought about, I thought about this boy. Sorry. I just thought, that's why you choose love, because you just never know what someone is going through. And so you just choose to elevate yourself in that moment. And so you may not, sorry, but yeah, like, you may not choose to love me in this moment, but I'm going to choose to love you. I'm sorry, I'm such a crybaby, everybody knows. Everybody knows me knows I'm a crybaby, so I'm totally fine, don't be worried. I cry over everything, so, but anyway.
The Kleenex patrol arrived. Yes. That is an amazing and beautiful, beautiful story, because isn't that the whole point right there? When we give love, we lessen someone else's burden as well as our own. And when we choose love, we remember that everybody, who is it that says, be kind to everyone because everyone is carrying a burden that you don't know about. And you don't know when that burden is extremely heavy. Today it might be extremely heavy for them. And so that was a totally beautiful illustration of that. And thank you very much, Lizzie. Okay, last call. Well, then let's join together in a consciousness of love, shall we? Take a breath in and let your awareness drop into your heart. And take another breath and let your awareness notice how big a space that is. The heart is a vast, vast. It's infinite. It is as infinite as the universe is infinite. It is the place where our merely human ego meets the divine self, and the two dance. It is where that part of us that can never be touched or hurt or harmed meets the human and says, don't be afraid. You are love. It is the place where we see and hear what is there all around us and in us, always. It is the place where the divine dwells in us and as us and through us. And when I am in this place, I am love. And when you are in this place, you are love. And when we choose to live from that place, we increase the love in the world. We do what we came here to do, and we are what we came here to be. How grateful I am simply to know that this divine one who lives within my heart and within your heart is everywhere, everywhere present. There's no place that God is not, and there's no time not filled with the Spirit, the love, the life of the universe. And so right where we are, it is. The fullness of it is. And it lives in and through and as each one of us. And today I know that we choose to express it with greater love than ever before. We choose to let that love flow out of us into the world. We give it to one another. We increase the overall love quotient of this place. We increase the overall love quotient of this state and this nation and this world and this universe. In our acts, in our thoughts, in our deeds, we choose even when we don't feel like choosing. We choose love. And how grateful I am to know this about this community. It is such a beacon of love, such a collective of love, such an open heart of love. And how grateful I am for life itself, this opportunity that I have to raise my awareness, to learn to see and hear that which is around me all the time. How grateful I am. And in deep gratitude, I just let go. I realize that behind me and in me and above me and below me and all around me lies this power of love. I can rest in it. I can let it flow through me. I can remember that it's all that I am and it's all that any of us is. We are love. We are love. We are love. And so I simply let go. I let it be. And we say together, and so it is.
I am just a thread, a simple thread in this glorious web of life. We are all just drops within a stream flowing towards an ocean of life. We forget where we come from. We may forget where we're going to. I might not see that you're a reflection of me as much as I'm a reflection of you. I am just a seed, a blessed seed with eternity unfolding in me. And I pray that as I go, I will reveal the love that illuminates my soul. When I remember where I come from, when I remember where I'm going to, then I will see that you're a reflection of me as much as I'm a reflection of you. This is my simple prayer. May I become a reflection of the Infinite One. This is my simple prayer. May I become a reflection of the Infinite One. This is my simple prayer. May I become a reflection of the Infinite One. This is my simple prayer. May I become a reflection of the Infinite One.
Yes, may we all reflect the infinite love. We now have an opportunity to give in support of our spiritual community. One of the other natural expressions of love is generosity, because if you stop and think about it, you know, that line that I read about how the pulsations and the reactions and all of the functions of our body happen as this endless outflow of givingness, of life. That's what God is all about. God is love, and it pours itself out to us endlessly. And this love is like that too. When we give it, it's always refreshed and refilled and replenished because it's who we are. So I invite you to just take a moment to be grateful for all the love that you give and receive, and for all that you are, and for all that you have, that all you receive here and elsewhere in your life. There is so much to be grateful for. And from that gratitude, take your offering in your heart or your hands heart if you give it electronically as I do, and just affirm with me. I am joyful. I am free. I am grateful. I give with gratitude. And I say yes to all the good life has to offer. And so it is. I don't know what's happening, but now I can't turn the microphone off. It has a mind of its own. So thank you again for exposing us to some more rock and roll mystics this morning, guys. I love it. I love it. A couple of quick announcements. The first one is that we've postponed the Discover class. It was supposed to begin today, but it will begin in 2 weeks. It's a free 3-part class about how you can become more involved in our community. So join us on November 5th, 19th, and December 3rd. You can sign up on the bulletin board, and I would appreciate it actually if you did, so I can make sure I have enough materials and food on November 5th. Next week I will be in my old home church, believe it or not, in Salt Lake City. So you will get to hear the fabulous and extraordinary Stephanie Stewart speak next week. Don't miss her. She is hot stuff. Oh yeah, come in costume next week. Don't make her be the only one wearing a costume, okay? Wear a costume next week. Kenny's got his Grateful Dead shirt on today, yep. Yes, I'm going to go speak there, which I haven't done in 13 years, which is amazing, and also do some training with their board. They're without a minister at the moment, so we're going to do a little training with their board, and I'm really actually looking forward to it. It's been a long time. That's where I took all my classes and became a practitioner and started ministerial school and all of that, so it'll be fun. Don't forget to place your orders. I think next week is the final time, next Sunday, for Rory the Lion or for one of the Avon gift packs over at the table. Peggy Merritt is here today to take your orders and payments. These the stuffed animals are $20 and the gift packs are $12, and they're grooming packs. They're body care packs, and they're really good deals. And you can either buy them for your own gifting, or you can donate them back to the center for giving, and as part of our Christmas to the community. They will go to kids and teens who are having really hard times in their lives. So place your orders today, and with Peggy over at the table. And yes?
I finally got the samples in for the...
Oh, so you can see the skincare.
You can fill the inhalers in it.
Yeah.
And then the 5th, we were going to start doing the love-in, but it's going to be the 12th because I'm not going to be here on the 5th.
Okay. All right. And then, yeah, the ones that are donated to give back to the kids, we will love on them for a while, and then at the appropriate time, they'll go to the kids. We are looking for people who are passionate about the future. If you are passionate about the future, you may really want to seriously consider signing up to work with our youth one Sunday a month. Those kids are amazing. I have to tell you, they have so much to teach us about what it means to be unconditional in love and in life and in just being. They're amazing. So if you want to grow while playing and help shape the future at the same time, there is a place over on the bulletin board for you to sign up. You can also talk with Stephanie Stewart more about it. It's a wonderful opportunity. If I had more Sundays that weren't so discombobulated, I would probably go back there once a quarter because it's always just really fun. Today they were decorating pumpkins, and they had an adult observer who was having way more fun than the kids. That's how it is. It's just great to spend time with them. And the holidays are going to be here before we know it. So if there's anyone here who has an artificial Christmas tree that they're thinking about getting rid of, consider donating it to us with one caveat. We have one that is a nightmare to put up. It is horrible. So if your tree happens to be easy to put up, we'd love it. We would love it. We're thinking about not decorating because this tree is so awful. I mean, not putting up the tree because it's so awful to put up. It's horrible. It has more of us saying more nasty words than you can believe on those nights. So that is our request. If you have an easy to put up artificial Christmas tree that you're thinking about getting rid of, we'd love it. And be sure to take a look at the last page of your bulletin insert for everything else that's coming up. And mark your calendar in the future for the 1st and 3rd Thursdays of the month for this discussion group. It's a discussion group around spiritual principle, and she calls it the snack service. It is spiritual but not religious. None, meaning you check the box that says I have no religion. If you know anybody who's like that, you might invite them. Atheist or agnostic and questioning. It's a discussion service about what God is and where we are in the universe and what our lives are about and things like that. It's the first and third Thursdays of the month at 7 p.m. If you would like prayer after service, our licensed practitioners would love to pray with you. They're wearing either white or teal shawls, so just ask them. Just say, I'd like prayer. As their gift to you on Sundays. You can also put a written prayer request in the chest back on the table, and we will pick it up after the service. So let's talk for a minute. You know, hugging is really, really good for you. It's good for your mind and your body and your soul, and it is an expression of love. It makes you secrete good chemicals. It improves your mental and emotional health, and it also lets somebody know that you've seen them as the beautiful being they are. So hug and hug and hug after service. Don't leave without at least a dozen hugs. Promise me. So thanks to everybody who made this morning's service possible. The band, as always, you guys are amazing. I am Iron Man. Kenny is Iron Man. And our ushers, well, he just had a hip transplant like 16 days ago. Pretty amazing, huh? A hip replacement, not a transplant. You know what I mean. I need a mind transplant today. He had a hip replacement, and he's like fabulous. And no big deal. He's healthy, healed, and whole. He's amazing. He is Iron Man. Thanks to our ushers and greeters, to the practitioners, to the welcome team, and to all of you for making this service possible. I love you and I appreciate you. So let's stand and do our closing affirmation, which I don't even know what it is, but I'll come up with something. And then we'll sing, We Are Opening. So know with me, today I choose love.
Today I choose love.
Fear cannot scare me.
Fear cannot scare me.
Pain cannot hurt me.
Pain cannot hurt me.
I never feel like giving up.
I never feel like giving up.
Because I choose love.
Because I choose love.
And love creates miracles in my life.
And love creates miracles in my life.
And so it is.
And